So, like you, I am also sometimes watching YouTube videos. Usually, the things that YouTube will recommend me, and you can say that a lot of my motivation for writing this book came from uh, watching people talk on YouTube, mostly, sometimes on podcasts, but mostly on YouTube, just because that's where they put their stuff. That's one of the places, and that's where I usually look. And hearing what people say and getting pissed off at the fact that it's that 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 they basically control, not control, that the narrative that they propagate is like the only thing that people consider, and they don't consider alternatives. And it's annoying when it comes from people in the like establishment or whatever, but when it comes from people that are supposed to be pioneers, that's when it really annoyed me. And that's what brought me to write the book. Some of the reasons was this kind of like resentment and the desire to like to show that there's another way. Like, I was watching a few days ago like a portion from uh, Joe Rogan's podcast with Graham Hancock, where Graham Hancock, which is like I don't remember exactly what his specialty, but one thing I know is investigating a lot is ayahuasca and psychedelics, and he was talking about, like, he was saying that uh, he, as someone who's doing ayahuasca, as someone who's out there, like, is perceiving the things that many are afraid to perceive, and he was saying, I am, well, it's possible that the brain produces experience. I'm open to the possibility that the brain is a receiver of experience. Now, he thinks that this is like out there, like, whoa, but what is he saying? Like, think about, if there is a brain that that exists without experience and is waiting to receive experience, to receive consciousness. What that means that you have like a brain, you have a body that is fully functioning, or fully existing, without anything experiential or conscious about it. So for that to be possible, you're talking about a physicalist reality, a reality that is managed by physics. Like, you can say, there are other realities that are not like that, like the consciousnesses, but bodies exist still nonetheless, even without conscious agents populating them, brains, bodies. So when that's the case, then clearly experience isn't fundamental, because things can exist without it, and exist exactly as they appear without experience perceiving them. Otherwise, what is that brain that is waiting to receive consciousness? So basically, he's talking about physicalism, even though he does say that, through the usage of psychedelics, you can perceive and sometimes entities that you can converse with, and you see a lot of stuff that you sense stuff that you can't sense otherwise. But all he seems to be doing is just proposing a few open questions, but not really addressing the possibility that experience is fundamental, and that body's reality is nothing but a reflection of experience on the objective substrate of reality. That this is like If you want to understand what I mean by that, this is like what I talk about in the my previous video about experiential intersections. So he is supposed to be the person that like unlike all the other people that are closed-minded and thinking all in terms of physics and stuff. He's supposed to be the guy who's like open-minded and sees beyond. He's just peddling physicalism. And then he's talking about all these entities that they can be perceived. This can be solved really simple by the theory. You just say that with a great expanded identification threshold, you can identify more elements, but that's not what this guy does. And this is supposed to be as far as it gets. And then I heard another video where, again, they were peddling the simulation theory, and they were saying that the cosmological constants are so fine-tuned that this can't possibly be anything but a simulation. Like they're saying simulation again. I said that before. Like simulation compared to what? What is the real that this is simulating? Like reality is simulating, but even if you ignore that, again, if you're thinking about my model of experiential intersections, where experience is where the body or reality, physical reality, is just a reflection of experience on the objective substrate of reality, what I call the fractal scape. Then you see a different reality where it's not that the experience, or it's not that the world somehow is fine-tuned, has managed to achieve fine-tuning. It's simply that experience won't look at the world that is not fine-tuned, won't perceive it. It doesn't, because it won't interest it. It just will skip to the next one. So experience is the same way as experience won't bother with realities where it doesn't have the machinery necessary to perceive interesting stuff. Like it doesn't care. It doesn't to care how you produce a brain which makes it possible for it to perceive it. It just chooses realities where it has the features that it is interested in, and how these come to be. Well, it doesn't care, and it shouldn't care. And if it does care, then the details are generated just in time. You want to know how the brain works, you look at the brain, and then the way the brain works materializes. Before that, it was just whatever. That's how it works in in dreams. I can attest. Like I remember one dream, I was looking at something that looked like a flower, and it was all murky, and then I simply focused on it, and I saw how the details came to be the more I looked at it. I think this is exactly what's going on in physical what we call physical reality. But the thing that is annoying to me is that like this talk about psychedelics, like to talk about simulation theory. It's presented as if it's like something that is like beyond, like this is the deep, the out of the box way of thinking. Well, it is actually just peddling the same physicalist and kind of nonsensical stuff that everyone else peddles. And when you come to a theory like mine, there's nothing. There's no one I can say, yeah, this guy, he knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, we're not. There's not a lot of us, but we all agree. It's like nobody.